Good morning, guys. I'm waking up at the nest this morning. Look at the tree outside. Isn't it gorgeous? Tom had a late work night last night, and I was up all night working on the Gypsy and Witch video. I am so excited, you guys. I can't wait to show you what I did for the project. I think you're going to be really happy. So let me just make some coffee and kind of get going here this morning. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. It's really chilly out this morning. There was frost on the pumpkins yesterday, so fall is here for sure. And here's our morning music trivia. Tom actually has a copy of this album cover hanging in his bathroom. It's great. And I know I have a lot of Janis fans out there. Any R. Crumb fans? Love R. Crumb. It's a great documentary. I believe it's on Netflix. Could be on Amazon. Called Crumb. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies. Yeah. Love me some Janis.
Girl Boss is about being
Don't like
the
some
boss
ads.
of your own life. How you...
Today's card is the 10 of Pentacles, one of my favorites. And I'm slowly getting my altar set up. I have a whole crate of decorations in my room that I need to get to. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite cards. And I took out the, these were hanging on the wall. Do you guys remember I did a tutorial last year on skeleton keys? Maybe I'll do some more this year. I don't know. Big plans, big plans. But there is a video out on these. And later on this evening, if Tom finishes up with work in time, we're going to go to Patty and Jonathan's this evening to celebrate Yom Kippur and have dinner with them. So hopefully we'll be able to make that. And right now, I am going to make some breakfast or something to eat before the day gets away from me. I was able to get the house clean this weekend. I made time for that, like thoroughly cleaned everything, took stuff off shelves, dusted, bleached, washed windows, you know, the whole bit. So feel good about that. I did not, however, get to my bedroom. So I did every room in the cottage except the bedroom. And I'm going to tackle that either tomorrow or Friday. So life is good, you guys, and I hope it's the same for you. A little view from the window this morning. Tom and Nicholas bought me this little ghost for my shelf here, and when the afternoon sun hits it, the ghost starts swinging. So I'll show you that later. Hopefully we'll get enough sunshine to make him swing this morning, but yeah, what are we going to make for breakfast? I have no idea. Oh, and I moved Ellie and Craven. They have a new spot over here on the shelf, and they're, you know, that's where they want it to be. So that's where they are. How about, maybe I'll make some like frozen banana concoction or something. Let me see what I got, and I'll be back in just a minute. Here comes the rainbows. It's amazing what happens when you clean the windows. So pretty. Okay, I pulled out the food processor. And I have a couple of frozen bananas, some frozen blueberries, pitted dates. You guys have seen me do this before. Figured we'd throw some coconut in, and good old ground flaxseed powder, a little bit of vanilla, some water if we need it, and I have some granola that I'll probably put on top. I'm really not in the mood for something cold right now. It's cold outside, but this is what I'm working with. This is what we're going to have, and I'm just going to get to it. I'm going to grind up the dates and the coconut with a little bit of water first before I put the everything else in, just because the coconut is hard. I'm going to put, I don't know, there's like 7 of these. And you guys know I don't measure anything. So about that much coconut. I actually got this coconut in a vegan cuts box. And I should be getting another one of those fairly soon. And this will be my last month with that, and then I'm going to move on to something different. But I really enjoyed it. Okay, before I get sidetracked, we have dates, we have coconut, we have, let's see, I don't know, there's about a cup of milk, a cup of water. I'll just add about half of that. And I'm going to grind this up, and then we'll come back and add the rest. Okay, so that's thoroughly blended right now. And I'm going to add the bananas. Now, if I weren't filming this, I would just keep it on and add them through this top chute as it were running. But I'm just going to kind of break these up a little bit. And I'll let these go, and then as it is running, that's when I'll add the blueberries through the top, as well as the flaxseed and some vanilla. I'm going to mute the sound so this doesn't hurt your guys' ears. All right, so see you in a minute. Okay, so that went for about 2 or 3 minutes, I guess. I like it pretty smooth. Beautiful. I had more blueberries than I thought, so I didn't add them all, obviously. And I didn't add the rest of the water either, so half a cup. So let me plate this up, and I'll show you and share a bite, and we'll talk about what's going on. All right, let's get this nice and plated up. Look at that. You know, oh gee, a galaxy bowl. I'll put all the links below. Yum. Alright, that's enough for right now. Put the rest of that in the fridge. Put some granola on top. This is just an assortment. I save it all in a jar. Hope you could see this right. I know the lighting's a little wonky right now. All right. I'll come back with a bite. Well, good morning. So this is what we're looking at here. And I thought I would share a bite with you while I catch up a little bit. And I have some notes. Of course, I have to write things down because I really CRS anymore. Can't remember stuff. Look at this. Ah. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, man. This stuff is better than any blueberry ice cream I've ever had. Two thumbs up all the way. Oh my God. I'm being careful chewing, you guys. For those of you who've been around for a while, know that last year around December time, I had to go to the dentist and I like never followed up because, hi, procrastination is my middle name. And if you're not in pain, why go back? Ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to take care of that if it's not going to go away. Let's face it. It's a back molar. It's really talking to me. So, I don't know if cold was the best idea, but as long as I don't chew on that side, I'm okay, but I'm starting to favor it, and I've been having to take ibuprofen pretty much, every 4 hours for the last couple days, so that's not good either. Anyway, yeah, I'll keep you posted. That's what you get, I used to be religious about taking care of my teeth when I was younger, and then I just got lax about it as an adult, and nobody likes the dentist, but you have to take care of these things. And what I would do for someone, a typical nurse, make sure everybody else is okay and you don't take care of yourself. Well, I told you I've started to change these kinds of things, but that's one thing that I've put on the back burner and I need to address. So like I said, I'll keep you posted. How exciting, right? Let's have another bite. Yeah, busy week this week, but all in a good way. Prayers and love to anyone who was affected by Hurricane Matthew last week. Special love and prayers to people in Haiti. I'm glad that everyone I personally know is safe, and I'm sorry for anyone's loss, property damage, anything like that. I can't imagine going through that stressful event. And yeah, so that being said, my daughter's in North Carolina and she only had rain and things like that. So that was good. And I know my gypsy sister, Miss Rita Marie's okay, and Stacy, and again, a lot of people, Deb. Yeah, so that's scary. And one of the advantages of living in the mountains of upstate New York, I live in near the Catskill Mountains, in the mountains, is that, we're protected, knock wood, from a lot of those kinds of, I'm never going to see a tidal wave here unless things drastically change. The Appalachian Trail or the fault lines shift, God forbid. But we're protected from a lot of those kinds of natural disasters, and I would be petrified. I mean, nothing is more, Mother Nature can devastate like no other. So, again, I'm very blessed that things turned out as they did. And like I said, I'm sorry for anyone's loss. So that was going on last week, and I told you I don't really watch the news, but I was watching that because I was really concerned. So, yeah, I told you I cleaned the house. That's really exciting. At least twice a year, I try to, do a really thorough cleaning, and it feels good to have that done. But like I said, I still have to tackle my bedroom. And while I'm in there, I'll pull out more Halloween decorations, and I'm getting excited for this year. We're going to go to my grandson's. Something's going on at school there. And honestly, we haven't had trick-or-treaters. It's sad because it's not like the old days, But we don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters here, and so, but I'm glad with my grandkids, I kind of get to live vicariously through them again. And speaking of Halloween and trick-or-treat, I told you I had the Supergirl costume. Well, last week I went on Amazon, good old Amazon, and I decided I was going to buy everything I needed to make the costume. And, I expected to spend some money, but by the time I got done, because I needed things like, certain amount of yardage of interfacing and, there was like 6 different kinds of fabrics and things like that. By the time I got done, my shopping cart was at like $120, including threads, appliques, things that had to match. I called my daughter Rachel and I was like, listen, and she totally immediately was like, no, what are you, crazy? You can't spend that kind of money. So, as much as I wanted to do this, it's not worth it. Give me a break. It would be one thing if I had the all of the supplies here, or, even under $50, but hello. So I went back on Amazon and I got all the components, a beautiful, amazing Supergirl costume in pink, and it sent it off in the mail along with something for my grandson Jacoby out there, and they're all happy and thrilled and ecstatic, and I didn't have to make a costume. I was totally willing to do it, but my goodness, by the time, and then you spend all that money and you still have to make it. So there was no way I could do it. Even if I had the money, I couldn't justify doing that for a child's costume. She'll be outgrown in a year. It's not like, maybe my granddaughter Riley, Cameron could use it for one season. It just wasn't worth it. So can't do it. Virgo, practical, cheap, not going to do it. So that's what happened with the costume. Excuse me. Tom, Nick, and I, and Sylvia, my friend Steve's mother, shout out to Steve's Music, I always do that, went to go see at a new venue for us called Cabernet Franks in Parksville, New York. And shout out to them. 2 thumbs up. Steve was asked to play with, I've mentioned these guys before, those guys. Paul Keane and, oh my gosh, I can't forget, sorry, I forget the guy on banjo. They do acoustic kind of mountain music, modern mountain music. How's that? Very cool. I've seen them before. It was great to see the 3 of them play with Steve. Steve's normally, rock and roll electric guitar, and I really, I've told you as I'm getting older, I really prefer acoustic music a lot more. So that was really cool, and the venue itself was amazing. It used to be a barbecue joint, which back in the day, before I was a vegan, I had gone to, and just a really cool feel in the place. And they had an upstairs bar where, I'm not into going out to bars anymore. I told you guys I haven't had a drink in probably 15 years now, but so there was like a separate area, but everything was really open. The music, the acoustics were great in there. The food was great. One thing that happened that was funny, that was eventful, and I have to remember to write a review about them because we really did enjoy it. They had vegan stuff on the menu. I and Sylvia both had kasha with roasted vegetables, and it was amazing. And then we got guacamole and salsa and, homemade tortilla chips for the table. And Tom got, who's becoming more and more vegan every day. Shh, don't tell. He got these stuffed peppers that were stuffed with like quinoa, I think, and rice and veggies. They were amazing. Excuse me. I've caught a little something. So that was really good. But when we went out, I wore one of my, long gypsy dresses, and I wore my scarf, my shawl scarf that Tom had gotten me for my birthday. It was the first time that I wore it out, and I love it, Well, I remember when we left the table to go home that night, I picked it up. It was so hot. It got really hot in the place. That was the one thing. It could have used a little more air circulation. It was really warm when it filled up because it was packed. which is great for a place that's like really out of the way. But anyway, hello. So I had taken my shawl off and I had it next to me, and I'm very particular about things. I pay attention, but I put my scarf in my purse and I handed my purse to Tom, and out we went. Tom and Nick dropped me off, and I got in the house and I was like, where's my scarf? Oh my goodness. The first thing I did, I called Tom. He went out to the truck. He checked everything. No scarf. I called the place. They were it was the answering machine, and they would have been closed I think they closed at 11. So then I left a message. I was heartbroken. It was my birthday scarf, I loved it. It was the first time out. I understand things happen for a reason, but honestly, you guys, I was stomping my foot. Wow, I want my scarf, So the next morning, even Tom called. He knew I was upset. He's like, listen, we can get another one, Like, that's not the point. I want my scarf, So later on that afternoon, I had to go pick up some almond milk, and Tom had some at the cave. And I was like, well, do you mind if I just stop by and pick it up? I was coming back here to finish cleaning, actually. And he was like, no, come on by. Before I got out the door, I thought to myself, what if you dropped it outside when you got out of the truck last night? And Self said, I don't know, what if? And I opened the door, and I looked out into the driveway, and I could see a pile of leaves. And my heart started going a little fast. And you guys, yes, as I walked down there in the driveway, all alone with the leaves, was my scarf waiting for me to pick it up. It needed to spend the night outside in the autumn air. And I was so happy. I was so, so happy. So I put it on, and I got in the car, and I stopped by Dunkin' Donuts and picked up coffees for us. And I pulled into the cave parking lot, and Tom came out with the almond milk, and he started talking to me for a minute. He was like, oh my gosh, is that your scarf? And I'm like, yes, I found it. So I was so happy. And that's my scarf story. Isn't that exciting? That's like 5 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. But so 2 thumbs up to Cabernet Franks, and 2 thumbs up to Tom and my scarf. And I got to get the phone. Hang on. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that was all good news. So it all worked out as it was supposed to, and I was really happy to have that back. It's hanging up, ready to go for the next time, and I'll keep a good eye on it. So I'm trying to think of what else I should tell you guys. I already mentioned I'm so excited. Have I mentioned how excited I am about the Gypsy and Witch project I have to present for you guys on the 15th? And I'm excited for everyone else who's joined along in our group. And it's a great theme this month, obviously. And October is my favorite month for celebration anyway. And I wish I could give you a sneak peek. I'm dying to. There's a part of me that's like, just give them a sneak peek, because that's how excited I am. And you've seen I haven't put out any other art videos this week, although my intentions were to do that. I just got caught up in life, which is a good thing. I'm not going to stress about it, but I still have those same ideas, and I should be able to. I definitely want and need to do my mission inspiration for this month, as well as the Kalia give hand cards. I want to do my own kind of challenge with those. So those are coming up, and then I have some other things in store. And I've been getting, it's funny because, as people start to discover, I've been on YouTube since 2008. But when I started, it was just my singing videos. There's like 5 or 6 videos of me singing. And then there was nothing until the end of 2014. So it'll be 2 years in November that I'm on YouTube. And what is my point? My point is that videos, obviously, tutorials and things that I did last year, people are discovering now. So it's cool. So and I love that Facebook memories feature where they show you posts from years ago, because I told you before, CRS, they, remind me, and it's cool. And I also see things you know, I could see there's progress. There's a vlog of my progress. And, you know, I wish I had kept diaries as a young girl and have them. I envy people who have a record of their life. But part of doing my YouTube videos is recording this time of my life, right? Listen to me. So, yeah, I have some plans to do some art. That's my point. And I have not forgotten things that I've told you about. One thing I shared with you a couple weeks ago, I got a new wood burning tool kit, and I want to bring that out. I've been inspired watching so many other people on YouTube. My God, you guys all inspire me. There's so much, you know. There's not enough hours in the day. And honestly, primarily, with the exception of watching American Horror Story and some things, documentaries and stuff with Tom, 95% of my video watching is YouTube videos, and I love it. So, but that leads me to, I did order a book because I love my books, and you guys know I can't get enough of pyrography basics. And yes, I know you can get all of this information online, but there's something about having a tangible book in your hand. And this is more of a booklet, actually, although, you know, it's got really nice paper, good information, cool projects, and I look forward to, you know, in the past, and I was talking with Tom about this because he had a wood burning, look at that one. You know, I've just kind of done it my way. I did it my way. I want to learn how to do the correct techniques and really practice and things like that. So I look forward to that, and I'll share that stuff with you guys. Not saying when, but that'll be coming up. So that's cool. I did get some other things in the mail for one project specifically that's coming up that I will be sharing with you before the month's end, but I can't show you what I got or you'll know what the project is, and what fun is that? It's got to be a surprise, right? What else? I got more tomatoes at my front door from the postman, so I'll probably be making up a marinara sauce or something. Maybe I'll roast some later for lunch. I don't know. I talked about Yom Kippur before. I'm not Jewish. Tom is Jewish. Patty is Jewish. I'm surrounded by many, 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 many Jewish people in my life, and I love them dearly, and I'm fascinated by all religions. Actually, I love learning about them and customs and ritual, and so many things are the same. But anyway, observant Jews are not eating today, and they will break their fast this evening after sundown. Well, obviously you can see I'm eating, so... but I did get a message before from Tom, and it looks like that we may not make it to dinner this evening with Patty and Jonathan. So we will be there with them in spirit either way. I gave her a heads up last night that this may be occurring, but either way, we'll celebrate in our own way, and hopefully have to do it again next year. And speaking of that, we also missed out on, totally our fault, missed out on Rocky Horror tickets this year for the live show. For those of you who know, I went last year, Tom and I and Nick went with Patty and Jonathan I've seen Rocky Horror hundreds of times in my life. Still am a diehard fan of the original show. I don't want to hear anything about remakes or anything. I mean, everyone has a right to their opinions, but anyway, we did get to see it live last year at the Forestburg Playhouse, and it's playing again this year, and it's sold out. And we waited too long, and Patty kept telling me, get your tickets, get your tickets. Well, we didn't, so we're going to miss out this year, but that's okay. We'll, you know, have our own viewing or hanging out. So we were going to bring Sylvia. That would have been her first time. Nothing like being 83 years old and being a Rocky Horror virgin, right? So, yay, back row. I'm looking down at my notes. What else? My grandson's coming this weekend. We're going to hopefully do some pumpkin picking. That's my plan. If all goes well, I told you about this cool place over on the border of New York and Jersey. It might even be in Jersey. And if we go, I'll share pics and stuff with you guys for that. And I still need to do my Happy Mail. I have a list of who I'm going to be sending thank yous and love to. That's hanging over my head. That's, oh, whenever I mention something, I don't forget about it. So I hope to, in the next week or two, have that out. And what else? Oh, and speaking of Patty, also, her brand new store, the Funky Hippie Chic Boutique, of which she still has her online store, and I'll put the link to that below, is opening her new physical store. She was renting a space before. Now this new space is on her actual property. It's the site of her grandfather's old farm, and it is gorgeous. I've only seen it when the walls were just going up, but I've seen pics of it on Facebook, and she's having her opening this Sunday from 11 to 4, and I'm going to go over there and check it out and show her some love and support, and it's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, and I'm wishing her all the best of luck. So, yeah, let me finish eating, you guys, and honestly, I don't have a lot more to share with you guys. Maybe let me break out the dehydrator and see what we're working, and we'll finish up with that. And then I'm actually probably gonna get working on some of the projects that we talked about. So I'll see you in a few. All right, we're really gonna do this. I should have showed you this all assembled. I did show you when I first got it. For those of you who don't know, this was my mom's. I am honored to be using it. It looks brand new to me. I don't know if she ever even used it. If she did, she took great care of it. Yeah, so what I did was I took it apart, I washed it, and this is it drying right now. And these are basically just a stack of drying racks. And a couple of drip trays on the bottom, and I'll show you when it's all assembled, but whoop, they're just screens that we're going to lay out whatever we're dehydrating. And I've decided today, I've been wanting to do this for a while, we're going to do some apples. So while this dries, I have the recipe and instruction book for the Nesco American Harvest Dehydrator. I'm going to read that, and then we'll get back here and get started with it. Okay, so I finished reading what we need to know, and it's really interesting. I learned a few things. That's always good. And there's a bunch of recipes in the back, too. But one thing, it says always use at least 4 trays, and spread all foods evenly to dry in single layers. You're supposed to wash and remove debris, dust, and insects. Cut away bruised or damaged sections. Drying time varies, obviously. But temperatures, today we're going to do apples, so we're going to put it between 130 and 140 degrees. And then it just talks about different, I just starred certain things, herbs and spices, dried flowers. You're supposed to package all dried foods promptly in airtight, moisture-proof containers. It tells you how to test for dryness. And I think next time I use this, I'm going to make some fruit roll-ups. Storage area should be cool, dry, and dark as possible. And then I read through this drying fruit section. So, I was tempted to leave the apple skins on, but after reading this, it says it takes much longer, and the skins turn very tough. So, it's going to take me a little bit of prep to get the apples ready. I'm going to peel them, core them. Hopefully I have an apple corer. I know I have an apple slicer, but if I have a corer, I'll be able to do thin slices. And then they recommend pre-treating your fruit. You don't have to, but I happen to have some ascorbic acid that I had gotten when I was doing the sprouting. So it says pre-treatment minimizes oxidation, gives you superior quality, better tasting product with less vitamin loss. Apples, pears, peaches, and apricots are better when pre-treated. They have more appetizing, longer shelf life, and higher nutritional value. And it says place cut fruits that tend to brown in a holding solution of ascorbic acid to reduce browning during preparation. And so, yeah, I'll show you the ascorbic acid that I have. And as I cut the apple slices, I'll put them in the solution, and it says to soak the fruit for 5 minutes, and then we're going to place it on the tray. And yeah, this is pretty easy. You just basically assemble the trays together, put your whatever you're drying on the trays, plug it in, and let it go, and you check it and see how long it takes. So let's prep some apples. All right, let me show you what we're working with here. I already washed these. They're just draining right now, and I've peeled one so I could show you. This is the ascorbic acid or citric acid, and directions say 1 teaspoon per quart of water. So I have some water here. I have a teaspoon, and I'm just going to mix this in. And then, of course, I don't have an apple corer. I must have gotten rid of it in my KonMari purging. So I have this. And what I'm going to do is, I also have a mandolin slicer here. So what I thought was, rather than deal with the core, just slice this and then use the mandolin to slice the slices, if that makes sense. I suppose we could just dry them this way, but it would take a little longer. I just want to try it out. Be careful you don't slice your fingers off if you use one of these. Not even sure if this is going to work, but let's try it. I've loaded up my slice. Whoop. Yeah, that wants to chop my fingers off. Do as I say, not as I do. So, this is what we're dealing with. So let me finish doing the rest of these, and I'm going to put these slices right in the water, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so here's all our apple slices. And, of course, don't forget to save your peels and stuff for potpourri, or I'm going to put some simmer on the stove with some cloves and nutmeg. Make the house smell great. And also, I wanted to just mention that if you don't have citric acid, of course you can use lemon juice. You just use a little bit more, and you may have a little bit of yellowing, but don't worry about it. It'll do the same thing. So I'm going to strain these right now and pat them dry. And in the meantime, I thought I would show you how I'm going to assemble this. This is the bottom base, and these trays just nestle on top of the bottom like that. All right. I can't do this with one hand. Or actually, like that. Hello. And then also my mom had got these trays. So this one is like for small pieces that won't, you know, fall through herbs and things like that. And you can actually lay those directly on that. And she also got these ones, and this is what we can make a fruit roll-up on, or you can dry sauce on there, anything like that. Or you can just go directly on the tray. But I'm going to use these small ones for the apple slices, and I'm going to assemble this, and it said to use at least 4. So it looks like we have 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put all the trays on. And then when the trays are done, I'll show you when I load it up. I'm just going to strain the apples, pat them dry, and then load them on this, and maybe 2 of them. And then put the rest of the trays in, and then we put this top on. And I believe it said to set it at 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll do that just with this little knob, and then you just leave it, and we'll check on it. And I'll keep you guys posted. So let me strain and pat dry, and we'll load this up. So here's where we're at, and I moved this. It's going to go right in the corner here. It said don't keep it by the stove, so the bottom tray is just empty, and then I put this tray on here, and I figured I would stagger them that way. So another empty. And then I have these guys here. As much as I could, I tried to, you know, not have the fruit laying on top of each other. And then this last one, we'll just put another one right on top. And I checked the book again. It said to put it at 135, not 130. So just putting the top on. Again, it just rests on there. That's it. It said don't put anything underneath it to impede the air there. And I'm going to plug this in behind my coffee pot. I can hear it already. Listen. And let's put it on 135. And I thought about my mama the whole time. So, thanks, Mom. These apple slices are for you. So, you guys, I'll check these every day. And I'll let you know next week how long it took. And I'm going to say goodbye for now because it's probably another hour-long vlog. But know that I love you guys so much and hope you have a beautiful week. Don't forget to check back in on the 14th at midnight, on the 15th for the Gypsy and Witch page. And stay tuned for some more art videos. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you do. Peace and love. I love you all. And special love and hugs and blessings go out to my dear friend AJ, who suffered a terrible loss this week. So, sending you a lot of love, sister. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace and love.